All right, here we are with my wife's CRV that I've rebuilt for her. Well, partially rebuilt. It was crashed here in the front corner, and kind of restored it. If you haven't seen those videos, check them out. I should address the elephant in the room, all the comments on the channel about my garden over here. That's not my lawn. I'm not in charge of cutting the lawn because this is an apartment here. But I was in charge of that garden, and I put a ton of work into it, and I planted like half of one row when we went on a trip, and it overgrew months ago, and I just haven't dealt with it since. So at this point, I'm gonna let it all grow and cut everything down, let the nutrients get back in the ground there, and kind of use all that as compost for the garden next year. And yeah, I'll put some work into it this winter, but right now I'm just kind of letting it go. So we got our helper here today. This is Mr. Mac. This is Mac. So he's my oldest son, and we have 2 kids. He's the first. Say hi, Mac. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hola.
Hola.
So Mac likes to help out here. We're going to replace these airbags, and a huge shout out to Jason from the YouTube channel Radio Rescue. Had one of these vehicles sitting around his shop and sent me the airbags for him. So if I didn't get these airbags from Jason, I could expect to pay probably $60 to $100 for the pair at a junkyard. I don't have a junkyard with any CRVs out here close by, and Jason was nice enough to send these in for us. So thanks again, Jason at Radio Rescue. We'll get these pulled out and replaced, and all we have left is the seat belts and a few you know, service items on the vehicle, like rear diff fluid and stuff like that, that people have recommended replacing. So aside from that, somebody did ask about the alignment on the front, if it was off by very much. The camber was off just a little, so I'm going to put a camber kit in them. And the caster was off just a little as well, which is, you know, this direction, like the wheels on a shopping cart, was also off just a little. So I'm going to replace that strut, and if that doesn't fix it, then we'll adjust the subframe just a little. But they're pretty close, so it's nothing too worrisome, but we're going to get that taken care of regardless. And the other thing we have left to do is I've replaced the gas lifts and these little mounting doodads here in the rear window. As these bust out, the old ones were old and cheap, and they put a ton of pressure on here. So yeah, you can kind of see just how much pressure is on those. There's one in this rear door as well, which I didn't know was there because it didn't do anything. So I've got that as well. I've already replaced these other ones. I didn't make a video about it. You can see me there, but I'll replace the one in the rear door that swings the bottom part of the door open like this, and I'll take you along for these 3 things today. So here we go. All right, so these are the lifts I did replace already. Those ones there. And again, those little mounting brackets, they put a ton of pressure on those, so I can see why the old ones busted out. There's one more that goes right here. I've already removed it. So let's open this door carefully. And it goes from here to the door right here. So we'll replace this real quick, and then we'll get up there and do those airbags. I believe I can do everything with this small toolkit here, which is actually a very complete toolkit. I mentioned it before, but when I went on a road trip, I took this toolkit and a few other tools, but I pretty much did everything, including head gasket replacements, with this toolkit. My dad had a torque wrench and stuff like that, and I was actually working half the stuff in my dad's shop, where he has all the tools that you would need, but basically I just stuck with all mine the whole time. So there's a link for a similar toolkit in the description down below. This one's from AutoZone, so if you want this particular one, you got to go to AutoZone. All right, I believe it was just a 10mm, so we'll grab that. Double check here. Yep, that's it. And just 3 bolts. Well, a bolt and 2 bolts and a nut, which is that. Looks like that may have to go on in a certain direction. Yeah, so this one's a little different on one side versus the other. So yeah, I'll try to put it on one direction first. We'll make sure it lines up here. That looks like it should be fine. There's that. We'll finish tightening that down in a minute. And then these 2 screw should go over here. Pull the door a little closer to us so I can reach. There we go. I think that's on right. Could be upside down, but hopefully it's not. Oh, hey, buddy. Bye-bye. All right, so once we got this pushed on there and started, I'm gonna use the nut to drive it all the way down now. Once that nut tightens up, we're good to go. There it goes. Give it probably about 18 foot-pounds, since that's what everything gets torqued to typically, and we'll test this out. All right, moment of truth. Oh yeah, that feels like it's supposed to. Cool. So close is good, then once you get it to here, bingo, opens by itself, which it didn't do before. Like I said, I never even noticed that strut was there until I went to order these two and it was trying to decide which one I wanted for this vehicle. So I looked and it had one more. So that's it for there. We'll go up to the front and do those airbags. All right, so starting on this passenger side, if we look at the airbag here, we've got 3 bolts holding it on, or studs with nuts holding it on here. So we've got to pull the glove box and just reach up there and loosen these. Probably a 10mm, but I haven't actually checked yet. There goes Mac. Wait. Take that rubber stopper out and then we can remove this glove box or let it slide all the way down.
I want to get in the truck.
All right, then if we look up here, we've got the 3 nuts holding this airbag in. So there's this one here, if you can see, and there's these 2. So we'll remove those real fast. Just want the littlest bit of extension there so I don't bust my knuckles. I like to use power tools a lot, like my Milwaukee. I have an electric ratchet, but lately for small jobs and stuff like this, I found myself using this toolkit because it's just so handy to grab and have everything I need with me. So, but you can't beat the Milwaukee once you break it loose. Just hold down on the trigger and it just takes it all the way out for you. Okay. Just another little turn there. Hold on to that for me. All right, one more. And then after this one, there's just one left. And there's a connector. There's a plug-in for it, for the sensors. I do need an ABS module as well, and a front windshield, and that stuff with the alignment, which I'll probably do the struts on both sides for the suspension sake and camber kits. If I do camber kits all the way around, they don't need them in the back, but I'm gonna get another alignment regardless. I may replace the struts back there as well, just to have new suspension. Yeah, new suspension.
Daddy.
What, buddy?
What you doing, Daddy?
I'm taking out the airbag, buddy.
Daddy.
Yeah, I'm taking out the airbag, buddy.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, buddy. Careful. That's the camera. Yeah, it is the camera. Okay. All right, so I've got all 3 of those nuts off. I'm gonna pull this out through the top and I'll find that connector and disconnect it once I get pulling on it.
Hello, Daddy.
Hey, buddy. All right, just like that. looks like that connector's this one here. Oh, it's gonna tuck its way down back here. I may have to. Oh, that probably goes right to that ABS module actually, which I think is back here. So I may have to remove this plastic as well to get to that ABS module. Yeah, we'll do that then. It's a good time to look at that boiler motor, and I'm not sure where the cabin air filter is. Probably right here. Oh yeah, that looks really dirty, assuming that used to be white. Also not easy to service, so it's probably gonna stay like that. I can tell you just by looking at the plastic though that it's old. Fortunately, it looks like I was mistaken about that air filter being hard to service. I think I could remove this bracket here with just a few, looks like a 10mm, some 8mm there, a 10mm there. It looks like I could pull this whole little bracket off. So I may order one of these filters and service that here soon. Just by looking at it, it's probably never been serviced, so that's always a good one to do. Just clean up some dust under here. I'm tempted to cut the wires on this airbag and just splice them, but I don't think that's the smartest thing to do, especially since I'm gonna have to get to that ABS module regardless. So I mean, especially since I'm gonna have to get to that SRS module regardless. So I think I may have called it ABS before. Little acronyms and stuff in my head get confused easily because I have dyslexia. So people think I may be illiterate, but I just get things mixed up in my head. So we'll dig our way down to that SRS module, and I'll pull up a little manual here real quick and see the easiest way to get to it, and then we'll replace this airbag. All right, so it's not connected straight to the SRS module. I can see it through here where I took the cigarette lighter out. So I've got the little connector there is just clipped onto a bracket back here. I'm gonna loosen up this little change catcher drawer down here. See if I can stick my hand back there and just get the connector loose, and then I should be able to just stick the new connector down there and get them reconnected. So take off this other screw. If we can do it one-handed, get this drawer out of there. There's like 3 screws on each side, so there's 2. That one's longer than the other one, so I'll just remember that. Longest one went on the bottom. This one's probably the same length. Same length, yeah. And these other 2. I thought they would have the connector in a place where it'd be easy to do, so extra shout out to Jason, who went through all the work to pull it out for me, so I really appreciate that. And Jason, I'll have you know, is the very first comment and like on every single video without fail. Alright, that ought to give me enough room to reach my hand back there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull out this whole tray. I may do a little more investigating if I can, but I think I can stick my hand through this gap here where I just pulled out the cup holders and disconnect it. It's that connector right there, that yellow one. So I've just got to remove the safety clip and then pull it out. And I think the SRS module's buried somewhere around here. But I've yet to figure out yet where that is. All right, so all I have to do is remove this clip. This is a little safety clip. I was able to just stick my fingers back there, pull on either side, and it just came right off. And now that connector should just come undone easily if I can stick one hand back here, the other up here. I've got to pull up on a tab, and that'll allow me to release it. All right. There it is. So you can see there, got it disconnected. You can see it waving back there. There it is. And it just disconnected from this one here that I'm wiggling now. So I was able to slide my hand right in there and do that. And there it is. There's the old airbag. All right, and this will go to its rightful place, the bottom of the landfill. All right, and things always go together a lot faster than they came apart for two reasons, because all I have to do to clip that in is just smack them together. And you figured it out when you were taking it apart, so going back together, easier. That just sets right in there. I'll leave that out a little bit actually so I can get some light in there to see. And you won't be able to see. I'm just gonna reach back there real quick and connect that connector. All right, so I've got that connected back there. You can see it just hiding. I'm gonna go ahead and put this safety on and snap it back into place, which you can see just that little style clip on the back. Goes through a little slot in one of those brackets back there and just kind of keeps it still. So we'll do that and throw these back together. I took those screws out for nothing, but not the end of the world. Here we go. All right, there it is up there. Clip back into place. Good to go. We'll put these bolts on here. These nuts, excuse me. Let's see if we can guide them right down into their designated locations. All right, now make sure it lines up on the dash before I tighten it down. Looks great. And we'll tighten that down. All right, there's that. Looks great, functional. Once I get that SRS module replaced or rebuilt or whatever they have to do to that, I'll look into it. We'll close up this glove box and move over to the steering wheel. All right, glove box is good to go. We'll move over to that steering wheel. All right, now to take this airbag out of the steering wheel, it's the airbag and the horn buttons combined. All we've got to do is just pull open this little flap here, and there's your Torx in there, and connect them up, get them out. Well, this little flap comes all the way out. I thought there might have been a little bit of Loctite on there since it was kind of tough on the first turn, so I'll put a little bit on when I replace it. Same story over here. Take this little flap out. There's our T30, and it's ready to come out.
Oh, hello, Daddy.
Oh, hello, buddy. Mac, where'd your sweater go? Did you get a little hot?
Yeah, give a little hot.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, there we are. That's out. I'm gonna, before I yank on that and break something, put the camera down and undo those two clips gently. All right, two simple little connectors there. All right, out of the way here, and it's connected. All right, we'll make sure the wires are tucked away how they're supposed to be. See if this horn works. If these horns don't work, I'll just replace them since they're replaceable. But it may be that connector there may be the issue. All right, I'll replace these horns since I've got this out, and those other ones work well. All right, so this is the old one. We'll just take the horn right out of here and switch it over. Guess I just gotta push it. There it goes. Yep, we'll swap this one right over. Yeah, so the buttons themselves feel a little weird. So I'm pretty sure it's just in the buttons. We'll figure that out here in a moment though. If I can hold on to my screwdriver. Okay, push the old one out. And we'll just toss that outside for now so I don't mix them up. All right. Tighten that down, and we'll do the same on the other side here. And then as far as these wires go, the black one goes here on this, what I'm calling the top side, and the blue ones go on the bottom side, but I'll put these back once I'm putting it in so I don't stretch those wires out. And this airbag looks a lot nicer than this old one. If you can see the difference in the stickers, that was nice. This one's not. Out. And then the other horn in. We'll give them a test here in just a moment. Because if it isn't these, then it's something in the wires here. I'll replace the wires or clean them up. Probably just an issue of being dirty if this doesn't fix it. But these buttons feel better. Plug this black one in here. Those should all be connected. Here we go. Okay, probably just a little wiring issue here then. Let me replace this blue wire. See if that fixes it. Right. Didn't feel like it went in right. Maybe it did. Maybe it was a bad connection there on the other one. That's a lot tighter. Okay. Connect up Mr. Blue wire here. Don't want to break that thumb off. Interesting. So it's got to be an issue with that black wire then. But it is riveted in right here, so I'm going to go ahead and just drill it out. And replace it. I'll just put a new rivet in there, so I'll go grab my drill and my riveter. All right, I'm going to do this out here. We'll take this black wire off. You know how it is, every now and then a job takes longer than you think. It's usually because of something like this, but it's nice to make sure everything's working while you're in there, than thinking about it or figuring it out later, than having to worry about it later when you got time. Okay, I suppose I need a larger drill bit. All right, and we'll replace this black wire with the other one. and then rivet it in. Got a little bag of rivets here. I don't use them often, but that's what we'll use here. All right, get rid of the old one. We'll install the new one and test to make sure it works. Yeah, so I'm just scratching up the surface here where they're going to mate to make sure that it's not corrosion that's keeping that from connecting well. There we go. There's a rivet small enough for that. Make sure that this is nice and roughed up, can connect if it needs to. Grab the riveter here. Just got a little piece stuck in it. All right, we really did it, big buddy. All right, now let's test this. This is all old horn stuff, so it should work. I'd be amazed if it didn't. Something has to have gone seriously wrong. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Weird. Maybe it has to be on? I don't think so, though. All right, well, I'll figure out this horn problem here real quick, and I'll update you when I get it figured out. All right, I just realized my mistake. Hopefully you realized it before I did. Maybe you've been laughing at me here for a minute. It totally is to complete the circuit, I have to be touching here. This is my ground here, so I totally wasn't even touching it. Should work. All I have to do is bolt it up, but basically this is the ground here, so I've got to put the bolts in. This has to be touching here in order to complete the circuit. I don't know what I was thinking I had plugged in to complete that circuit, but just totally absent-minded there. Should totally work. All I've got to do is just bolt it down to this ground here, and here's our power. So we'll bolt it down, and that horn should work just fine. All right, I don't even have it bolted up. They both work fine, so yeah, that works. And we'll bolt them up with our little Torx bolt, and that'll do it for this video. Let's get this done. It's been a little bit longer on that than I should have. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna push it on the steering while I do it. I didn't show that Loctite getting put on. I forgot. I was up here wrestling with my little one. But it's good to go. Looks great. Thanks again to Jason and everybody who supports the videos. I couldn't do this without you guys watching. Well, I mean, I could. It's my job to work on cars, but it's very gratifying to make videos that you guys enjoy. So that'll do it. Let's put these little plastic clips back on. There's one. There's the other. And that's a job well done. Thanks for watching. I'm Ernest. Again, thank you guys for all the support. If you have any video ideas, anything you think you want to see that's interesting, leave it in the comments down below. With this, we've got the SRS module left, the seat belts and the front windshield, and some suspension stuff for that alignment. So a few more videos and it'll be completely done. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. All right, I'm retorquing my wheels from the other day's video. Making sure they're all still at 80 foot-pounds. So far, so good. It's been about a week since then, so. And I'm afraid to hop over to the other side right now and look at my tools, because somebody's been playing over there. So let's go check out how much damage has been done. Oh, I see sockets. Oh man, that's the biggest bummer. He ripped up my foam pad that keeps them all in. Oh well, it's been worse. I've got to look at each one individually and put them back in their designed spot, but a little price to pay to be out here working with my little one, as he's about to pinch a hole in my garden hose or something else. Say bye-bye. Say see ya. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See ya.